is my second time filming this intro because I was not center in the first one. That's okay, hopefully this intro is a better one. Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. My name's Julia if you're new here. Today we're going to be doing a little deep dive on something I'm sure you've seen on TikTok because it's been trending. But this show, WifeSwap, from the early 2000s has been trending recently on TikTok. And I'm not mad about it because I love the show and I've been really enjoying rewatching all the episodes and stuff. There was one episode that caught my interest, as well as some other people on TikTok that I wanted to talk about today because I didn't really see any full videos of it on YouTube. So yeah, I thought I would just make one. But the reason that this episode is so interesting is because one of the sons that appeared on this particular episode ended up going on to murder his mother and younger brother before turning the gun on himself and attempted suicide. So obviously that puts a really eerie tone on the episode, and it's once you know that, it's a lot different going and watching the episode back. But I do think it's really interesting because it's not often that we get footage of someone's upbringing, childhood, or a time before they go on to murder or do anything like that, you know? As a psychology major, this really does pique my interest. So today we're going to be reacting to the show, or that particular episode, and I'm going to be providing some commentary and talking about what I think, and then we're going to go through the events that occurred after that episode aired. I do have to say a disclaimer real quick. I don't mean any respect to Jacob, his family, or anyone involved. So because this video is made with all good intentions, I am going to be trying to do my best to put a more serious and factual tone on this video. I am more of a cheerful person. I smile a lot. I'm not one to be too serious, so if I do smile like I am right now or anything, just know that is kind of just my resting face, or that's just how I am, and I don't mean any disrespect by it. So yeah, please don't take it that way. But yes, my long intro is over, so let's just go ahead and get into the video. Okay, now I'm just going to provide you with some background before we watch the show, just so you kind of know what's going on. If you don't know what WifeSwap is, it was this show in the early 2000s where basically they would take two families from opposite viewpoints, like conservative or liberal, and the wives of each family would switch places for 2 weeks. The first week, hi Katie, the wives will follow the family that they're in's rules and their lifestyle, and then the second week, the wives kind of take control and the families follow their rules. So during the show, the Stockdale family, that was the family that the mom and son were murdered in, they switch places with the Tonkovic family, who is pretty liberal and doesn't have very much rules on their family, unlike the Stockdale family, who's very strict and conservative. During the show, Kathy was the mom, she was 44. Tim was the father, he was 48. Calvin was the oldest son, he was 19. Charles, he was 16. Jacob was 15, and James was 11. Basically, the story goes that Kathy and Tim developed a fear of living in a city, so they moved. Puddles, can you go? You're very loud. So Kathy and Tim developed a fear of living in the city and exposing their children to bad influences. Oh my god. So loud. So they moved to Beach City, Ohio. Beach City kind of reminds me of Steven Universe because that's where it took place, so I didn't even know that was a real place. I thought that was cool. So they began their conservative lifestyle where they began farming, clog dancing, they had a family bluegrass band. Basically what I'm going to focus on with reacting to this episode, oh my god. Anyways, I just wanted to focus on the Stockdale boys' upbringing during this because I think it's really relevant to the case. Mrs. Tonkovic, the wife that swapped places with Kathy, the Mrs. Stockdale, she actually cried multiple times during the episode just seeing how these boys were brought up. It's just a very isolated, controlled upbringing. So yeah, that's kind of the premise of this episode. So yeah, we can go ahead and start watching the episode. Oh, also, I actually had to redo filming multiple times and film on different days and just a lot of different things like that. So there's going to be a lot of different footage of me. So if you notice some differences, that's why. I'm also going to be reading off of my notebook because I have a lot of information written down on there. The Stockdales actually posted their family rules online. Let me just go through their family rules real quick just to like kind of give you an idea. The boys receive tokens for every chore they do and an extra token if they do it with a glad heart. They trade tokens for privileges like listening to the radio or for a stick of gum. Processed and fast foods are forbidden. Food is for nourishment. TV and video games are banned. They produce redundant minds and lazy children. I want my boys to be active, productive, and busy every waking moment. Internet access is restricted. There's no idle surfing in this house. Instead, we enjoy spending time reading to each other, playing music, or storytelling. The boys are not encouraged to date until they're ready to get married. They need to concentrate on building the right foundations for healthy and moral life, not thinking about girls. There is plenty of time to worry about that when they have found their bride-to-be and are ready to settle down. But how exactly are they supposed to find their bride-to-be is my question. This thing goes on, like really, there's a lot of rules, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to give you a little idea. And also, I just want to say that I do feel like a little weird talking about Kathy, Mrs. Stockdale, her parenting because of the tragedy that happened. So I just want to say again that I don't mean any disrespect to Kathy or her parenting, but I do have my own opinions on it, and she has different opinions, which is perfectly fine, and I completely respect her. And I'm sure she was a beautiful person and loved her children and had good intentions. So now we're going to be watching the episode on my laptop.
The Stockdales are devoutly religious.
Praise the Lord, for he is kind.
Amen.
And have banned TV and video games, believing it's their moral responsibility to censor all that their kids watch and listen to.
I'll take a tall glass of water, please.
I don't think my parents would allow me to listen to pop.
We do not allow any cussing.
Aw, rats.
I think that dating has physical dangers like pregnancy. It's not worth it.
I've never been on a date. There's better ways to find out about girls than dating.
I have not kissed a girl in a romantic way.
And the boys are also homeschooled in order to control their influences.
It's important we have control over their character and their education.
In order to earn privileges, the boys must gain...
Before we get into the next part. Okay, so did you hear that? They put their kids in isolation to shelter them from things, including things like pop music. They said rap music earlier, and I know rap music can have profane lyrics, but still, not all rap music. Yeah, they're like shielding their kids from bad influences such as rap music, violent language, and sexual influences. They're actually like putting a label on things as bad when it isn't necessarily true. Like that's kind of their opinion, but sex doesn't have to be bad. Certain language has a bad connotation. If you don't want your kids to say that, that's fine. I get that. But like, I don't know. I just don't feel like we should really put a label on a lot of things. Like, other people listen to rap music, other people listen to pop music. And then they're keeping boys from like other cultures, ideas, other perspectives on things, which can lead to like closed-mindedness and a lack of tolerance. They very much filter like what their kids are watching. And I know you should I believe in filtering what your kids watch to an extent, you know, for protecting them from like really traumatizing things. It's only what the parents think, only the parents' religion, only their opinions and their view on life. How are they going to encourage the boys to develop their own perspective on life, their own belief system? And if they have never been exposed to other ideas, people with other religions, who listen to other kinds of music or any of that, they might label them as bad because their parents are labeling as bad. If they're taught there's only this one way and only what they say is right, and then they meet other people who have differing ideas, you see how like a lack of tolerance can be bred. And also I think you should always let your kids decide what they believe in. Be open to other ideas and let them be their own person with their own belief system. The parents are kind of brainwashing them, I feel like, by doing that. More on that later.
Tokens by completing a chore they must then check off on a chart.
It also addresses attitudes. Just because the job is done does not mean it's necessarily done in the right way. The boys pay 20 tokens to listen to a radio show.
It's important to instill in our children that you need to work and not expect to have a handout.
The work I have to do is sweep the porch, sweep all the down.
Okay, so of course I understand making your kids work and do chores and have them like doing work around the house, but the token system is a little scary to me for their psychological development. I'm not a psychologist, by the way. When I said I was in school, I'm like a sophomore, so I don't know any. But it does concern me in my own personal belief and opinion, because it says things like saying yes and having a good attitude. Like, it controls even how the boys like present their emotions, express their emotions, sorry. And like, I feel like that also brings up some boundary problems, like personal boundary problems, when you can't say no. Like, that can lead to some problems. Everyone should be able to say no. Like, that's how you put your boundaries, you know? Saying no is important. Oh, and I understand, like, earning privileges or whatever for certain things, but, like, not every single little thing, like gum or listening to the radio or whatever. Like, first of all, these boys are doing something from the moment that they wake up to the moment that they go to bed. There is time where your body needs to rest, time where it's good for your mind, your body, and your soul to do things that you enjoy, to chill, to have relaxed time. You know, you don't always have to be stimulating your mind or doing something that's good for you. Like, sometimes just watching TV is good for you. Sometimes just playing some video games is good for you. Having to work for every little thing, it just gives them the wrong mentality. Yes, you do have to work for things like money so you can buy things, but we do have basic necessities covered. I feel like it just gives them the wrong idea. Speaking of from experience, it can cause you to associate you don't deserve something unless you work, or like you're useful in your future relationships. You know, you're gonna apply the same thing, which isn't always healthy. Does that make sense?
If you sat through that explanation, thank you, because that was so confusing. But basically what I was trying to get at is when your self-worth is tied to productivity. And that is not the case. Self-worth is not a condition, it's just a value.
Ugh, the fridge is being loud. I don't want to unplug it though. I have like a little mini fridge in here, and like it's being loud, so I'm sorry if you're picking up that noise. Hopefully it's not too loud, too bad.
It's pretty bad.
So, the Tonkovic family might have a lot of questionable things that they're doing, but I will say that at least they have a good relationship with their kids, and they will, or might, I don't know if these people are gonna marry their girlfriends that they're with right now or not, but if they do, they have a good relationship with their future son or daughter-in-law. Their kids are safe at home, in supervision of their parents. They have a good relationship with their parents. They can tell the parents anything, if anything happened that the parents needed to know. I like the mom's motto where she's like, we don't have long on this earth. Like, let's enjoy our time together. Let's enjoy life.
So what kind of music do you like?
Oh, bluegrass.
What do you think about rap music?
I don't listen to it.
You're gonna love it after you leave this house. You're gonna be woo, you know?
You're very immature. My 11-year-old is more mature.
Oh, I feel so bad for the rapper, for Vic T or T-Vic or whatever his name was. Oh my god. I feel so bad for him because he is being friendly. He just has a good energy about him. He's just playing around, like, getting to know her, asking her what her interests are, sharing his interests, and like being happy, having good energy. She's like, he is very immature. So, like I was saying earlier,
You don't have a job, Samantha. You're living at someone else's home. You're mooching off of this family.
Okay, can I say something now, Kathy? Because now you're crossing the line, because she is not mooching off of our family.
I don't mooch anything off of these people. I help them out as much as I can.
You know what, ma'am? I don't ever want to hear disrespect to my family again. She doesn't mooch a damn thing off of us. It kind of broke the camel's back right there. You don't say derogatory things when we haven't said one thing towards Kathy.
He always pays for it.
what she does?
Yeah.
And she pays for your food stamp?
Yes.
But you're not her daughter, right?
No.
Do you have a job?
No. No.
So what do you do?
Not a lot. I didn't like that she pointed out I don't have a job because it's supposed to be how Lori is, and Lori would never put someone down.
Their way of parenting and living their life can kind of encourage intolerance and a lack of open-mindedness. I can kind of see this here because the mom is a little bit, sorry my cat's messing this stuff. The mom was a little bit judgmental of the other family and particularly the kids, even though they're younger than her, which I kind of thought was surprising. Yeah, she's like judging them how they're dancing and like they don't have a job and stuff. I don't really feel like that's her place, especially when it's not her week. Here is the close-up of their like little token system thing. It says saying yes, having initiative, I'm not sure what that one says, but then having good attitude. So even how they express their emotions, or like how they're feeling at the moment, takes into account with their rewards and their reward system. And Mrs. Tonkovic, I still don't know her first name, but she brings up a good point that it puts an awful lot of pressure on the kid. Okay. Oh god. There's a lit handle on there, I can die. So we had to move locations, but it's fine, we're gonna keep going. There was kind of a moment where
Miss Tonkovic
broke down because she asked one of the boys, I think it was James, he's 11, but she asks him what he would do if he did have more free time.
What would you do if you didn't have a schedule?
Like, just like not doing work?
Anything. No work.
I would have a lot more free time.
To do what?
Play around with my brothers.
God, I feel so sad for these kids. I asked him what he would like to do if he could do anything. He doesn't even know.
He wouldn't really even know. He doesn't know his interests or what he would do for fun. And I do think that's a very revealing moment in the show. And I definitely understand why Kathy broke down. It is kind of sad. While they're switching the rules, like it's the wives' week for them to decide what they want to do with the family, like how they run the family or whatever, Miss Tonkovic replaced all their natural foods and put in junk foods. And I am someone who believes eating healthy is good. It's a good thing, and you know, feeding your kids healthy foods is good, and it teaches them to have a liking to healthy foods and make better choices in the future. With their eating habits, like when they're adults on their own. But the kids said, I hope I don't get sick. A normal kid would be at least a little excited that he gets to eat junk food for a little bit, you know? It just seems like kind of a fear-based household. You know, how I said they're kind of brainwashed, they also seem very fearful of a lot of things that they're not exposed to. And I think it was the youngest too, James, which I don't think he had very much time before they implemented this lifestyle. I think the older boys do remember a time before that, but he does. And then Ms. Tonkovic also introducing different music, trying to show them that not all music is bad. It's okay to expose yourself or your kids to other kinds of music other than like bluegrass music. And the dad even made a comment and said, oh, I think we're going to make a new genre called bluegrass rap, which that's cool and everything. They can do that if that's what the whole family wants to do. But it just kind of shows that like they're not very open to other kinds of music at all, which I think, yeah, it just ties it back into what I was saying earlier, that they're not very exposed to like other cultures, ideas, etc. They can't even listen to music while they clean. I'm sorry. Anyway. And then she also is letting the boys go on a date, and I just think this is really interesting to see. They're finally socializing and like having an outing with these girls, and it's just so cute. And they really had fun. It's just sad that like they only have this for a week, you know. She does bring up a good point, but like how are you supposed to know that you're gonna be marrying the right person? Like love and dating and that whole thing is such a complicated like journey to go through. There's so many different freaking lessons to learn. What if he chooses a girlfriend and then like that girlfriend cheats on him? I mean a wife, and then that wife cheats on him? you know? Or are the parents like wanting to choose the boys' lives for them and like kind of do an arranged marriage setup? Because how would they be able to meet like their wives? Yeah, I just find that really strange. One of them is 19 years old. One of them is 19 and has never had an experience with a girl. I don't mean like experience like that, but like not a date or anything. Like that's sad. And it's like not his fault, you know? There's a really tough scene here where the oldest son, Calvin has a talk with Mrs. Tonkovic when she brings up the idea of going on a date or just having fun with the opposite sex. It doesn't mean that they have to be dating, they have to have sex, they have to kiss, none of that. She just wants them to have fun.
Yeah, I'm against it, but I think that she needs to know what we feel about it. Nope. My position is I want to talk to Lori about it more. There are certain things that we feel very strongly about.
Look, I know you do. I would never tell you or make you do anything.
Well, you do it to my brothers.
I would never. I swear on my life.
Would you make them try it?
I will make them not listen to your father and choose on their own without his influence. That's what I will do.
I'm afraid what I'm going to do emotionally to the younger ones.
And Calvin starts crying and he says like, are you gonna make me do it? He doesn't really clarify what it is, but he says, are you gonna make me do it? Are you gonna make any of my brothers do it? And she's, no, of course not. Like, I want you to make your own decision without the influence of your father, which I agree with. I think that's a good thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And he starts crying and he has anxiety about his little brothers and what it's going to do to them. And I think it's because he knows this isn't forever and it's just going to go back to normal, and he's really worried. And just also what I was saying earlier about like that fear-based parenting, a lot of their beliefs that they instill in their children, they believe because they're scared. You shouldn't be anxious that if your little brother goes out and has fun, supervised fun, this is all filmed, I'm pretty sure Lori is going to be there, they're all watching it, it's televised. It's just sad. That's really telling. So this is a scene of the boys, one of them, the older one, who unfortunately killed the younger brother that he's in the scene with, and then his mother. They are playing video games thanks to Mrs. Tonkovic, and I don't know, it's nice to see them having fun, just relaxed fun, no pressure on them, just chilling in their natural state as human beings.
What do you guys think about this?
It's fun for the present. It has no value, really, at
I
times.
feel guilty right now, but I love it.
I believe my children are becoming mind-numb robots, totally oblivious to everything else that's going on.
But it's just sad. You can really see how like brainwashed they were, because, especially Jacob, because he says like, it has no value to the present. They've been playing video games all morning, so he's obviously enjoying himself. He even says that he's enjoying himself. But yet all he can say is, it's fun for the present, but it has no value, really. And then the younger one says, I feel guilty right now, but I love it. I don't know. I just think that really shows how instilled their parents, like, really. And then, okay, this scene I love because I think it's one of the son's girlfriends and the Tonkovic family bring up a really good point to Kathy, who is staying with the other family, and she's enforcing the token system on them.
We worked hard all day. You don't have to give us little merits and have a big organized chart. It's okay to clean and just do it for the cleaning, not for rewards.
I'd be happy to give you some more materials.
But are you going to learn anything from us? Like, not be so close-minded about everything.
You don't have to give us little merit badges. Like, it's okay to clean, just to clean, and be done with it, and then go relax. That's a normal life. Like, that's how people function. We work, we rest. Like, it's okay. We don't have to, like, do all these little things, put so much pressure, and, like, keep track on, like, are you doing it kindly? Like, how are your emotions, how are you expressing yourself while you do it? Oh, you want to listen to radio? You have to clean the whole bathroom, wipe down the counters, look here. That's not healthy. That's not... that leads to burnout.
Oh, tomorrow night.
Yeah, but, well, you
talking.
obviously know that we don't want to.
Why not?
Brainwash.
Going out has certain connotations.
I mean, I understand that's how you were raised.
I would appreciate it if you keep my parents out of it, because this is my decision, not theirs.
I would like it if you'd do it for me. I mean, I'm not gonna force you, but I would appreciate one time. But would you do it for me?
Look at him.
I guess I could. I
He
guess
wants
that's
to.
the answer.
You can tell he wants to. Like, those were brainwashed responses. Those were not them. Like, they want to. You can just tell.
So, yeah, sure.
They're gonna go have fun with the girlies.
I'm only doing it because it seems to be important to Lori. It's not something that I want to do.
Both of your boys will be going out tomorrow night, and that is their choice.
I'll have a talk with him.
No, you won't.
See? And, like, the dads made them, like, I'll change their mind. I'll brainwash them some more. No. That was the agreement. If the kids wanted to, then they could. If they didn't want to, then she wasn't going to force them.
As Calvin and Charles Stockdale, the two oldest sons, grew older, they left the family bluegrass band and moved away. These two had actually experienced life before their parents decided to move to Ohio and raise the boys in isolation. On June 15, 2017, police received a hang-up 911 call at 4:36 p.m. before reporting to the location of the call. When they arrived, they found the front door open. As they entered, they saw a figure of a person just inside of the home who was later identified as James. He was 21 at the time. The police had heard a gunshot and called for backup, but proceeded to investigate the house. Kathy, who was 54 at the time, was found dead in the bathroom. Jacob had shot and killed his mother and brother before he turned the gun on himself and attempted suicide. He did survive with severe brain injuries and was taken to the hospital where he would undergo treatment and begin his recovery. After that, he was arrested in September 2018. This was over a year after the murders. He was charged with 2 counts of murder and pled not guilty. In January of 2019, the judge had ordered Jacob to get a psychological evaluation, and he was deemed not mentally competent. The court case is currently delayed. His father attends every court hearing and described Kathy as a wonderful mother who loved being a grandmother. Calvin described Jacob as a catalyst for fun and a gifted musician. A motive has not been confirmed for why Jacob did this, but Lori Tonkovic believes that it was their strict parenting that led him to snap. She said that she knew it was Jacob before she was even told, and when she gave the boys more freedom and allowed them to live life on the show, as she said, Jacob started crying because his parents told him he would burn in hell.
Days with the Stockdale family. When you first heard about what happened to the Stockdale family, what was your reaction?
I actually, when my son called me to tell me what had happened, he didn't know who the shooter was. I knew immediately.
You knew in your heart that it was Jacob.
Yeah.
Cops say they're trying to figure out why Jacob...
Alright, thank you guys for watching. That's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it interesting. I recommend going and watching the episode for yourself. It's season 5, episode 14. And I believe all the WifeSwap episodes are on Hulu, so you can go watch it there. I would love to hear what you think in the comments down below and what your opinions are on this whole situation. If you did like this video, please give this video a like. It really helps me out. So yeah, I'll see you next time for my next video. Bye.